Hello, everybody. Welcome to Papel Podcast, episode 31. Today I have Hachi with me. Say hi, Hachi.
Hi.
And today we're going to be talking about the biggest topic I think Pangya's probably ever had for at least a while, is that Pangya Korea servers are going to close down on August 29th, 2016. And this is definitely huge in a lot of ways and may affect our server, Pangya Global. So we're going to be kind of discussing all those theories that we have and whatnot and what people have been saying on the forums. So Pangya Korea will be closing on August 29th, 2016. So we've had, about a little bit more than a month notice. And we actually found out about this because it got posted to the forums by Twinslate the moment it came out. It was very sudden. And this was like maybe not even 20 minutes before we were going live with the Mystic Ruin stream a few days ago. So me and Hachi I just messaged Hachi on Skype. I'm like, yo, dude, there's something like I need to show you. And then like, what did you react initially?
I, I I don't think it really hit me back then because I saw it but I didn't believe it because Korea is like the home to everything, and I just didn't see that being one of the first ones of the four to close down first.
Yeah, no, exactly. Like, just as you said, Pangya Korea really is. I mean, that's where Pangya started. That's where everything came from. All the developers, all like the art style and all the different games and everything. They all came from Pangya Korea. So without that server, Pangya just literally wouldn't exist as a franchise. Um, and I, in some ways, kind of had a feeling that it might close, especially sometime this year, but I wasn't sure because, as I said on the live stream, a few days before this, I was actually reading a Korean article that I translated, and it said something like NC Soft or Entrive or some company, whoever is running it these days, they were getting ready to close down and terminate Pangya Korea. And I wasn't sure if that was just a mistranslation, so I just kind of left it as is and hoped for the best, but clearly it was not a mistranslation and Korea really is closing. But when I was younger, years ago, thinking of Korea closing down, I always thought if Korea closes down, every server has to close down. They are the head of Pangya, they run everything. There's no way other servers can even legally sustain the game. But surprisingly, that's actually not the case this time, because a few months ago, I think it was around December last year, Korea transferred the source code to Pangya Japan, and now they have all the creative licenses and legal stuff to make new things. For example, they've made Mystic Ruins a new course, and they've also made a lot of new caddies and club sets and all this kind of stuff. So, what do you think of Pangya Japan being the new owners of Pangya?
Well, before I get into that, I just wanted to agree with you on the whole Korea thing because I kind of remember when Trickster got shut down. I thought Japan would have lasted, but for whatever reason, that decided to shut down as well. I really didn't know back then. But as far as Japan, I couldn't agree more that they deserve it more than any of the other servers. I mean, they were the ones that kept updating new gotchas, new close sets, new everything that everyone else wasn't getting. And now with a new course coming out, or just kind of came out, that shows that they're ready for the ownership.
Oh, for sure. And yeah, it was very interesting because I was reading the announcement because Pangya Korea, as soon as this news came out from Pangya Korea, Pangya Japan put an official announcement on their page saying, thank you very much for Pangya Korea's work and all the staff members and all that, for creating the game, and that sadly they are closing down, but for people on Japan's side to not worry because GMO, GamePot, and Retrievesoft will collaborate and continue Pangya together. So because they're officially announcing that they own Pangya as a franchise and they can make new stuff. So Japan will continue as usual, and they will be the new leaders of Pangya in a way. Um, and I'm glad that they made that announcement. But it was just so interesting that because I've never seen throughout all my history seen a server actually mention another server officially. Like that was just crazy to me. I don't know if you've ever seen that before.
No, like I said, when Trickster shut down, I assumed Japan would have kept going, but they shut down with them. So like I've never seen. I didn't even know this could happen. I didn't know censorship can occur in other countries.
Yeah, exactly. And then shortly after that, I was wondering, like, what's Thailand's, point on this? If Panga Japan comes out and says something, I wonder if Thailand would. And actually, I checked their Facebook page, and they did indeed acknowledge the closing of Panga Korea. And roughly translated, it says that, earlier today, you guys might have heard about Panga Korea closing down, but please don't worry. Thailand won't get affected by this in any way. They added like a picture of a graph that shows Retrieve and all the different companies that run each server and how it won't affect us. Um, and coming out and saying that it doesn't affect their server at all, so don't worry, don't spread any rumors or anything, and there's a future and all that. Now the problem that we all have, and many of other people on Panga Global have on the forums, is that Global, the server that we have right now, is the only server out of all of the servers that has yet to come out and officially state anything at all regarding the closing of Panga Korea. And what's worrying about this on top of that is we are run by the same exact company, Smelgate Megaport, who runs Pangya Korea. We are tied to them company-wise. So if they close down, we are all wondering, are we going to get brought down with them because we're with the same company? Like, what's going to happen? And yeah, it's very stressful. And did you want to tell them what the moderators and whatnot have been telling us their excuse so far?
Where to even begin? Well, like first of all, they said that the admin is on leave for vacation or whatever, and she even said coincidentally during the closure announcement, and then saying that we have to wait next week for an answer, and to which I say that's not fair because everyone else has already come out and confirmed that they're safe and whatnot. And this is such shady business practice on our end. You just don't do that. If something that big gets announced, doesn't matter if you're on vacation, you should at least address your players because we're all worrying and we don't know our own fate. And so, like I said, I just feel like it's very shady business practice and something needs to be done. I know we can't do anything about it now, and probably can't do anything until tomorrow or whatever. But that's not really fair for them to expect us to wait when our server may be on the line.
Oh, exactly. And you could already see people on the forums and in games and everywhere kind of already starting to panic, and so many rumors, so many people are already saying, oh, did you hear Pangya Korea is closing, we're obviously next because the server's been going downhill and blah blah blah. And if you want to contain all that stuff like you would, running a game as a company, you want to do your best and everything you can to get rid of those rumors and just say, hey, chill, or come out and say, hey, yeah, we are closing, prepare, at least say something. And the thing is, while I'm just going to say I trust them with what they're saying. Sure, someone in the admin team or whatever has taken off a week, whatever. The thing I don't understand, even within that reasoning, is they said the admin is not GM Melody, so she has no correlation with this weekly, on vacation thing. GM Melody in the past has always been able to come out on the forums and say whatever. So why can't she at least come out at the very least, and just say, please be patient. We're working through things. Wait a week, or it might be a week or more, and stay tuned for news, and we'll keep you up to date. I don't know, anything. Like, she doesn't have to say, what the future is or anything, because she might know it or whatever, but she can at least say something. And Twins' excuse for us, because I suggested that to Twinslight, and Twinslight came out and said something like, oh, the forums have never been an official notice thing before, so we're not going to use it this time. Which I don't really get that at all. If you want your player base to not panic, then just come out and say something. You don't even have to announce anything, but just say stay tuned. Like, I don't know, it's just so frustrating, and so many people, including me and Hachi, have just kind of gotten on a rampage on the forums. And it's not fun, we don't want to, but, I mean, what can you really do, right?
Yeah, I mean, like, well, I don't know who the admin is, because, like, we all know back then, like, when it was still just SGI, whatever, it was Sin who was the admin, and it was Takeda, Kilgore, and everything like that. But, like, now, they're so shady with everything that even I'm not even sure who the new administrator is. And as far as Melody goes, like, there was not even a post about a GM event, so which makes me believe that either she's being told to lay low until the administrator gets back, or she's doing what the administrator is doing right now and just taking a leave or whatever. No one is really saying anything, and no one's even coming out to admit that they're even here and that they're working on things or whatever. Like, it's just very weird that I almost want to think that no one's even in the office right now. That's how bad things are getting, because, like, no one's saying a word.
Yeah, it's very confusing, and, like, all the other times I maybe, like, would have forgiven it, but this is literally, like, the worst time ever to pull out these excuses and whatnot. Like, you have to have communication with your players when something bad is happening to another server. You have to, like, it's just a part of standard practice. But what surprised me is Twins came out and said that apparently Twins, Rono, Lenny, and GM Melody had no idea about the closing of Pangya Korea. And I find that odd. Like, I believe him, but I find that odd because Japan obviously knew, Thailand has known apparently since March or May, one of the two, because they've known about the plans since then, because it was supposed to close down back then, but time schedules or whatever happened, so they didn't change it. And Twins posted that news very, very quickly, like the instant it came out. I checked the page 20 minutes before the forum post was posted, and it didn't have that notice. It was the instant, so I'm a little bit suspicious, but I'll benefit of the doubt for him, so I'm not sure. What do you think of that?
It's just a headache. Like, I really don't know what to say, because, like, Twins, says that we don't know, or they don't know, or anything like that. And while I can believe that Mars don't know this, the GMs had to know. Like, they've always been the first to know everything. That's why Kilgore has come out and said, well, this is happening, or that's happening, or whatever. And, like, this time around, no one knows anything. It's just, I find it kind of hard to believe that nobody knew when, like, the other servers knew months ahead of time. Like, why are we the only special little snowflake that doesn't get to know,
Yeah. I just find it funny, like, one person, the latest post is literally someone saying, honestly, we need a GM officially comment on this news. It's huge and affects everyone in some way. So let's stop any rumors and misconceptions before they happen. Let's clear things up like every other server has done. Come out and say something, Melody, GMs, Twins, anyone. Like, if that's not a cry for help, like, what is? Clearly something has to be done, but what can you do? I guess we just have to kind of wait and see what's gonna happen, and if they're gonna come out and announce anything at all. But either way, like, Pangya Korea closing is still very sad, especially for players like me and Hachi who do have an account and have played the game's server for many years and whatnot. I mean, how much do you have on your account? You have quite a bit, don't you?
Yeah, I've been here for almost 6 years and a couple of weeks from now, and at least $1,300 poured into the game just for new items, clothing, calipers, and everything like that. Just, that's what made it fun, was to pour a little bit of money in, but like, I knew that there was that chance that they would get shut down and that I would lose everything, but I just didn't think it would shut down in this way. Like I was telling you earlier, like I thought we would shut down because of our own stupid mistakes. I didn't think we would potentially, be shut down along with Korea because of a merger error.
Oh yeah, yeah. And like I totally agree. Like I wouldn't have expected Korea to close down in this way and in such a sad way. Like the last year, I would say, or at least 7 or 6 months, they have had like no proper updates. It's all just been recycled Grand Prix or whatever, and occasional GM events. Like I really expected them to go happily or positively or something. Like I didn't expect them to have like a year of nothing and then just eventually, oh yeah, we're gonna close down, by the way. Like I don't know, it's just so sad to see. And as I said in the stream that we did, it's such an odd time for Pangya as well, because on one hand I am incredibly sad for Korea closing and the how that may affect the rest of the servers, but on the other hand I'm also really excited, and I love the new course that Pangya Japan released on the same day as the news came out. So it's a really, really weird time in Pangya. And one of the comparisons we made up on the stream was that your dog died, but they got you a new cat. Like it really does feel like that in some ways. It's just it's so weird.
Yeah, it's like, it's sad because it feels like someone just died, because like that's been there for almost, or
14 years.
actually, yeah, something like that.
It's
Yeah.
14 years. It came out in 2004 and it's ending in 2016. That is 14 years of this game. Like that's incredible. I've never seen a server go that long in my lifetime. Like that is absolutely incredible.
Yeah, there's been some that have come close, but never got there because of money issues or boredom or whatever. But like this has been like one of the few, like, it may be a little more underground in terms of how popular it is, but like it's always had its fan base. Like even the older players are still on global right now and playing.
Yeah, I mean, considering it is such a niche game, and like I always have to explain what I mean by Pangya whenever I mention, oh, I can play the new update on Pangya tonight. They're like, wait, what the heck is that? Like, oh, it's an anime golf game. Like, it's really cool. Like, they have no idea, but it
Yeah,
is such
like,
a niche game. But I'm surprised it's lost this long. Honestly, like when I first played it, I didn't expect I would be playing this for 14 years. Like that's crazy. It's insane.
well, I don't know, because like even I got my mom into it, and like at first she didn't even know either, but like when I slowly introduced her, she got into it as well, and you know that's very rare considering I can't get her into most of the things I'm into, and for her to actually play Pena, that means something to me because it's that just that good. She got into it as well.
Oh yeah, exactly. Like my dad is the first person in my family who ever played Pangya. He still plays it to this day, though a little less because he is getting older. And he's actually finding new games and stuff. But I'm surprised that we both enjoy it. Like we are completely different in terms of video game tastes, yet we all still enjoy it. It's the same with Brendan. I introduced Pangya to Brendan like at the start of high school or whatever, and he's been playing that since. And he's cut down in the last year because of uni and work and whatnot, but he still loves the game and is still excited. I mean, that's why we made this podcast. It's crazy how this one game can be enjoyed by so many people, and like it doesn't matter what freaking gender or like anything. Like it's always fun. So kind of brings people
Yeah,
together.
like what you were saying, like you made the podcast, and like I slowly made videos as a joke, but people got into that. And like I've known for years that NIN3 has had their own tutorial thing, and like thousands of people come in every day to watch new stuff on Pangya, even if it's just new people starting out and whatnot. Like it's a good game, and like people realize it's a good game, but like with Korea shutting down, that's sad. But at least they get to go to Japan afterwards. But like global, like we don't know, and like they're it's almost like the abusive relationship where you keep going back to it, and that's how I feel like with global right now.
Yeah.
How they just keep neglecting what we want and abusing our accounts and whatnot because we said something wrong or whatever.
But you love them too
And
much to like leave them fully.
yeah, it's like I don't know how else to word it because like I keep coming back, I keep enjoying what made me love the game to begin with is because of its cutesy anime style and everything like that, and that fun golf game that does take some strategy and everything like that. So I don't
Yeah.
know why Global's the only one being so silent about it when like everyone else, all the other companies are loyal to their fans enough to say, hey, this is what's going on, don't worry.
Yeah.
We can't even do that.
And in a way, like, Global always kind of has been the more silent server, like, in terms of communication with their fans. I mean, there's been a few things, but compared to, I mean, look at Thailand, for example. I've always brought this up with the GMs so many times that they do live streams every single update before the update happens, showing off what's new or what's not new or whatever. And then straight after that, they open the servers to everyone and they do a live GM event. And it's amazing, and you get to see the developers, you get to speak with them, you get, like, in Japan, they have a newsletter constantly with all the updates and stuff like that, and on the bottom of each newsletter they have a question of the week about the last update, like what would you like to be improved, what do you think of the new course, or what do you think of the new caddy, or whatever. Like, it's just little things like that would improve our communication so much, but the most we get is GM events, and that's just full of spam and like, oh, Melody, notice me, like, friggin' stuff like that, and it's not good. Like, they could manage this game so much better, and it just makes me so sad and angry because if this was under the right management with the right funding, it could be such a great server, but it's just not, and it makes me really sad.
Yeah, I personally believe that they're only doing the GM events these days just because that's the only time they'll actually come and play.
That's the only time the
Any o-
server's full.
Yeah, any other time no one's there. Like on average, you might get like 200 people at a time in there, but like, the GM event's just there to keep the game sort of relevant. But other than that, they won't even do personal events on the sidelines. How I said, we're delegated to forum events and people that know how click buttons to turn on 2 times events.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I've been playing Pangya Japan a lot because of Mystic Ruins, the new course, obviously, the last few weeks, and it still surprised me to this day that they have like 10 servers like open. Like they have like one for each character in Caddy. Basically, we just have Black Papel and Tainabu, right? Like, it's just
No, Lolo now.
Oh yes, they changed it. Sorry.
Yes.
I'm sorry, I should have known it was Lola Day in Japan, but not in Global. Like, yeah. But I think that sums up our thoughts, really, not just only on Korea closing, but also on Global as a whole and how it's managed. So yeah.
Yeah.
Might have been
We're
a bit
just
ranty,
worried
but...
is all, like...
Yeah, exactly. Like, we're not like angry, like, oh, don't tell you how to do your job. Like, we're not supposed to be doing that. Like, that's not our intent. We're just voicing our concerns because we and a lot of other people in the community are generally concerned about the future of this server, and we don't want to see it die, obviously. So, I don't know.
Yeah, and if it does, it would suck, but at least they would tell us that,
Exactly. And like, the thing is, like you said before, Korea dying is bittersweet because Korea, all the Korean players don't have to enter. They can just go straight to Japan or straight to Thailand. Obviously, they would never come over here. I don't know why they would. But if global, closes down, they don't. They have that huge, not only language barrier, but you have to do so much to get a Japanese account, and you have to use, VPNs and all that, and like it's a lot of work to even just get into Japan, let alone talk to players in there and play the game like properly and understand everything. Like it just won't be the same with Koreans. It's a lot easier, and I don't know. I think it'll just be so hectic. And the worst thing is, if this server does shut down, I can guarantee, if they don't open an English server, everybody will migrate to private servers, which is just atrocious. Like, I don't want that. I don't want that as Pangya's future. That's terrible. So, yeah. So I hope you enjoyed the episode.
No, like I'm kind of Oh, sorry. No, I'm kind of hoping that we do go to Japan if in the event that we get shut down, but like I don't know. I guess we have to wait and see, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. Only time will tell, and that's all we can really do for now. But yeah, I'm
So,
definitely sad to see Korea go. It's still, even after like a few days, still doesn't really feel real to me. Like every now and then throughout my day, I'll just kind of go like, whoa, it's actually
yeah.
the end. Like that's it forever. Like just looking at the Korean logo, like I can't imagine that not existing anymore. It's kind of crazy, and it does make me really sad. So yeah, thank you so much, Korea, for a fantastic 14 years, and you might not have had the best life, but you certainly had a long one, and you've
Yeah,
made a fantastic
despite
game.
kicking everyone out.
Yeah, well, due to hackers and whatnot, but
Yeah.
yeah. Either way,
It was fun.
yeah, it was fun, and they made Pangya, so even with Korea dying, the game's not going to die. It's going to live on. All the hard work that the developers and, that art director, Seed, he passed away, and, like, we will always remember that, and Pangya will always live on no matter what, in some way or form, so I think it's not as bad as... It's not the worst thing that could have ever happened. So yeah. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for being a guest, Hachi.
You're welcome.
Okay. Well, we'll see you guys in the next episode, and we'll do another podcast if we get any more news from the moderators or GMs or whatever about Pangya Global's status. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.